Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda and I am a neurodivergent woman. I have autism, ADHD, blah, blah, blah. Global aphantasia, also sometimes called multisensory aphantasia. It means I don't experience any of the senses in my mind, and a rare memory disorder called SDAM. So I actually want to, I talk about all of these on my channel, so make sure you check out my playlist. Hit like, it really helps this channel. I'm saying that now because I will forget to say it in the middle after I hope I've, helped create some interest, just because that's how my brain works. But I do feel like my channel is pretty important, spreading awareness and advocating for autism, disabilities, and bringing awareness to things like SDAM, which is very rare. So hit the like. That helps me with the algorithm. Anyway, this video is, I want to talk a little bit about SDAM. It stands for Severely Deficient Autobiographical Memory. And I want to kind of recap some of the conversations I've been having over on my TikTok channel. I am mind blind on TikTok, and fingers crossed, as much as I love YouTube because I love being able to go into more depth with everyone on this channel, I've really fallen in love with TikTok, and the whole crazy talk about it being banned is really upsetting for various reasons, but we're not going to stray from the topic. So I've had some really interesting conversations the last couple of days about SDAM. I did a quick video the other day. I was talking about bed rest. Okay, so I've got an upcoming foot surgery. I think I mentioned it in a previous video. Really got lots of feelings about that I'm still working on processing. That's a topic for another video. But after the foot surgery, I will probably be resting, presumably in bed, for at least some period of time before I'll be able to get up and walk around. Well, I'm going to be on a scooter for a while, but there'll be probably some time in bed. So that actually made me think about the time that I was on bed rest for 8.5 weeks when I was pregnant with my twins. It's funny because just even saying the words 8.5 weeks makes me laugh because I don't have memories. I don't remember the events of my life. And what I mean when I say that is that I do have semantic knowledge. Like, I know I was on bed rest for 8.5 weeks, but I don't have any experiential, I think I'm saying that wrong. Experiential, I've been saying that word wrong. I don't have any experiential memories. Like, I don't have any emotions or any of the visuals, sensory input, anything else that other people would have when they're thinking back to a memory. So when I laugh about 8.5 weeks is because the way that my memory gets stored as semantic knowledge, sometimes it's repeating of facts and it'll come out in a very stiff way, like 8.5 weeks, very precise. And I joke about that because that half week was a lot. Again, I don't remember the time on bed rest, but I know that by the end of it, I was having a lot of mental struggles. I know that by the end of it, I was just ready to get out of the room. And it's funny because, I can think back on it and I don't remember that time period, but I do have some facts about it. Okay, so I was kind of just retelling that on TikTok and kind of using the fact that an upcoming situation sort of reminded me, oh yeah, I had something similar in a way happen to me many years ago. My twins are 15 years old now. And so it had me kind of try to stretch my memory. And I don't know why I do this to myself because I can't remember, but sometimes I try, I'll like grab onto a fact and I'll try to bring down more details. And sometimes I will be able to bring up more facts about the event, but again, there's no emotions attached to it. Oh, sorry, I got an itch. So one of the things I was talking about on TikTok was the way I will try to restore a memory is by using logic to think about, well, okay, what would have happened? And so I know I was upstairs in my bedroom for 8.5 weeks. The only time I was allowed to go downstairs was to leave for a couple of doctor's checkups during that time. The rest of the time I needed to be pretty much laying down in my bed. I was allowed to get up to go to the restroom, and then I was like, well, how did I eat? Because my husband had to go to work and he left pretty early in the morning before I would even wake up, and he got home usually pretty early, like 3:30 or 4. But I was by myself for the bulk of the day. So I was like, how did I eat? And then I remembered, oh, there was a mini fridge in my room, and I don't know who let us borrow it, but we don't own a mini fridge. Somebody like loaned it to me, and then I was like, maybe someone also gave me a microwave on top, and I don't know that, I don't remember it, but I'm just trying to use logic to think about, what if it was now, what would I have done? You know, that's kind of how I think about memories. And like, I can't remember emotions from back then, but I can think about like knowing myself, oh, you know, how would I have felt back then? And it's funny, like just right now I remember, so yes, sometimes when I dwell on an event that happened a long time ago in my life, more semantic knowledge of that event will come to my brain. Not often, a lot of times it doesn't, but like right now, just talking about this, I remember we're talking about the food. I know my mom brought sometimes some fast food by for me to eat, or Chili's to go, which is a restaurant in my town. And I had my birthday because my kids were born the end of December, and my birthday's at the beginning of December. So I had my birthday on bed rest, and I know my mother-in-law, her birthday's a couple days before mine, and so I know she was over to celebrate together. But yeah, I don't remember like how I felt or like any of the like rich details of a memory. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. It's really hard to describe. And this is a thing that I'm trying to do with these videos, because one of the things that I've learned as I've gotten older is that everybody has different experiences in their inner world, in their inner brain. And we, as humans, we really haven't developed that much language to describe how we experience our inner world. And I think that is extremely important. And because we can all go around walking around like everybody's exactly like us, thinking like us, and it is so obvious that it's not. And the more that we can share how our inner experience is, the more we can have empathy and understanding of the people around us. And just that knowledge that, oh, this is how I experience things. How do you experience things? And have that be part of our conversations. That is like such an important thing to me. Well, so the funny thing is, so on this TikTok video, which none of my videos have gone viral, I get like 200-300 views on most of my videos, which is fine, you know, whatever. But this particular video had like 5-6 people comment on it and say, oh my gosh, I think I might have this memory disorder too. And I was kind of taken aback by it, like excited that these people find something that resonates with them. But also, for one thing, I advise anybody to never diagnose themselves from one video on TikTok. And I'm not saying that these people are doing that, but you got to start somewhere, right? And that's why I'm doing this channel, is to bring awareness to these things, because not many people have heard about it. I grew up my entire life feeling like my memory is weird and different and nobody understands what I'm talking about, but I didn't have the words to explain it. And then when I was 38 was the time when I read about SDAM, and it was like, holy cow. And I started reading research and talking to other people with it, and searching out articles. And that's after many months, maybe even a year of reading about SDAM, is when I finally was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that. So again, right now, anybody with SDAM is currently self-diagnosed, because it's still being researched and it's not in any diagnostic manuals yet. But going back to these commenters, it is interesting because as of right now, scientists are estimating that only 1% to 2% of the population might have SDAM. So I'm really surprised that, you know, in my video that maybe got 200 views so far, I think there was like 5 people who resonated. Now, I do agree. I think the TikTok algorithm is pretty freaking powerful about finding the people and getting the videos in front of the people who needs to see it. Like, that's the thing that I think TikTok has really smashed in the short amount of time that I've been on that app. And it might be a starting point for them. Maybe they don't have SDAM, but maybe they do have something that is going on with their memory, and this will spark a curiosity for them to explore other memory disorders or ways that people have chunks of memory missing, and it might lead them on to some other discovery. And another option is that scientists are off, and maybe there are more than 1% to 2% of the population that has SDAM. There's so much. Like, I'm just a single vlogger talking about this. I have no idea. I don't know exactly how amazing the TikTok algorithm is. Like, does it somehow really hone in on these facts that these people have memory issues? That would be awesome. I know a lot of people have found out about rare diseases they've had through TikTok, so I'm not going to put it past it. But yeah, the other option is that it is more prevalent than researchers thought. I mean, I didn't have a name for it until I was 38. I knew I had a problem. I should know what it called it. And, you know, even saying all that, maybe something will come along later that has even better explanation for my memory. Right now, SDAM and the way that it's being described in all the research fits me to a T. So I'm pretty confident that I have landed on the right diagnosis, but we are continuously learning more and more about the brain, and things change all the time. For instance, in the autism world, a lot of people were diagnosed with Asperger's, and then in 2013, I think, Asperger's got taken out of the DSM and DSM-5 and is now just all called autism. So these people got officially diagnosed with Asperger's, and now they're like, oh, that's not what my disorder is called anymore. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe SDAM will change into something different. I kind of hope so, because SDAM is like a mouthful, self-deficient autobiographical memory. If you have the opposite, it's called hyperthymasia, and I mean, that sounds a lot better than SDAM, but whatever. On the one hand, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's more people out there who have this disorder and can relate to me and understand, because it can be very, very isolating. You can see in some of my past videos where I talk about SDAM, there's a lot of sadness that happens when you can't remember your life. And another recent video I did was talking about how I experienced grief as someone with SDAM, and when you don't remember the emotional ties to the events of time that you spent with somebody. When they're gone, you don't have that to look back on in your own experience, in your own brain. And it's just dry facts that you're reading on a sheet of paper, like, you know, like a police report is how my life is like. It's nothing. I live in the now, I live in the moment. And there's a lot of good about that, but there's a lot that's hard too. So anytime you find other people who kind of can understand and relate and validate, it's a positive thing. But then also, like, part of me is like, but it's supposed to be really rare. So am I misleading people? Like, I don't want to be spreading any misinformation, and have people think that they have this disorder when they don't. But I'm just always like giving out the best information that I can at any given moment. I try to relate my experience as truthfully as I can, as I see it and as I learn about myself too, and as I grab and learn more vocabulary. Like at the beginning of this channel, I was saying Aphantasia, and then I learned that the scientists are more pronouncing it Aphantasia instead of aphantasia. So I've like corrected and trying to learn how to say that word differently. And when I first learned about aphantasia, it was all about visuals. And then in discussion with other people, we realized that we weren't experiencing any of the senses in our brains. And by talking to other people who are actually in touch with researchers, that's where the terms global aphantasia or multisensory, and they haven't landed on a specific term yet, have come about. So it's all still being researched, and both. Oh, and I bring up aphantasia too because there's a high correlation for people, especially with global aphantasia and SDAM. It's like 51% of people with SDAM also have aphantasia. Gosh, I thought this was going to be like a 6-minute video, and here it's getting closer to 20 minutes again. So I will wrap this up. If you have any questions, please don't answer them. If you have questions, ask them down below. Questions help kind of prod into like different ways of thinking and answering, and just kind of like different videos to make, and it really helps me out, and I enjoy educating people as best I can on all these topics. So, okay, I'm gonna remember, hit that like button, please. It really helps me out. And any kind of engagement that you can give, sharing this, if you think you know somebody who has a memory thing. Yeah, I'm gonna add one more thing because I do think it's important. There are a lot of ways that somebody can have memory loss. It is not always just SDAM. That's just one of many. There's different traumas that can happen. There's other mental illnesses that can cause memory loss. But SDAM is a lifelong memory loss. It's not just like, oh, I don't remember my childhood. It's lifelong. It's continuing on. Like here it is, March. I don't have any memories of my Disney World trip other from this summer, other than, just the facts. I don't remember how Christmas felt just a couple months ago. I mean, I can tell you some of the things we might have done or might have gotten for Christmas, but I can't remember how Christmas felt. Okay. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.